Drogheda United Football Club is an Irish association football club based in Drogheda, County Louth. The club are members of the League of Ireland First Division. They play their home matches at United Park. The current club is the amalgamation of two former clubs in the town, Drogheda United, a non-league club founded in 1919, and Drogheda F.C., founded in 1962. The clubs merged their operations to form the current club in 1975 and have achieved success since 2005 by winning two Setanta Sports Cups, an FAI Cup, and their first league title, the 2007 League of Ireland. History = 1919–1975. Founded in 1919, the original Drogheda United were a non-league club for all of their early years of existence, but on Saturday 22 June 1963 another Drogheda club, Drogheda F.C. were elected to the League of Ireland when the league was expanded to include 12 teams rather than 10. In their first season there they finished 10th and also in each of the next 3 seasons finished in the bottom 3. In the 1967 Euro 68 season they achieved a respectable 5th place finish and the following season finished in 6th place. When the league expanded to include 14 teams the club dropped down the table again, finishing in the bottom 5 in each of the next 6 seasons and also recording their heaviest league defeat 8-1 to Cork Hibernians in the 1970 Euro 71 season. They did, however, get to FAI Cup final that season where they were beaten 3-0 by Limerick. 1975–2003 In 1975 Drogheda FC amalgamated with Drogheda United to form Drogheda United F.C. and the 1975 Euro 76 season saw an improvement in fortunes on the field as they finished 6th in the league and they also reached the FAI Cup final for the second time, this time losing 1-0 to Bohemians. For the next 3 seasons, quite the opposite at what had happened before, they finished in 3rd place. During these seasons Drogheda United also achieved 2 club records, their biggest league victory in Cathal Muckian scoring 21 league goals in a season. The club then endured another tough spell in the league, finishing in the bottom half for the next 5 seasons bar the 1982 Euro 83 season when they managed to achieve their highest ever league placing of 2nd place, finishing 16 points behind Athlone Town. They did win their first ever trophy during these seasons also, the League of Ireland Cup in the 1983 Euro 84 season. The 1984 Euro 85 season saw the introduction of the League of Ireland First Division to begin the following season, with Drogheda United among the 4 clubs who were relegated from the Premier Division, but in this season also Drogheda United entered European competition for the first time where they were destroyed against Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Cup first round 14-0 on aggregate. They remained in the First Division until the 1988 Euro 89 season when they went up as First Division champions. Their joy was short-lived, however, as the following season they were relegated, although this time they achieved promotion at the first time of asking. In the next 2 seasons Drogheda battled bravely against relegation, surviving by 1 point and on goal difference in their respective seasons. However, they were relegated for the 3rd time in the 1993 Euro 94 season. Drogheda United were very much becoming a yo-yo club, swapping divisions every season between the 1993 Euro 94 and 2000 Euro 01 seasons, when in 2000 Euro 01 they finished a disappointing 9th in the 10-team First Division. In 2002 Euro 03 they were promoted to the Premier Division under Harry Matthew and have been there ever since. 2003–2008. In 2003, Harry Matthew was sacked as manager of Drogheda United. Paul Doolan took over and upped the standard of training and fitness levels. However, he found that to compete with the big clubs like Bohemians and Shelburne he would need a professional squad. In 2004, he made the squad fully professional and gave part-time players the option to turn professional or leave the club. The change to full-time saw the club's fortunes drastically improve. They won their first FAI Cup in 2005, beating Cork City in the final, and won back-to-back Setanta Cups in 2006 and 2007. They also qualified for the UEFA Cup for the 2006 Euro 07 season thanks to their 2005 FAI Cup success. This time they fared better than in their first foray into Europe as they defeated HJK Helsinki for €2 on aggregate in the first qualifying round and were just eliminated 11-10 in an epic penalty shootout in the next round against IK Start of Norway. They were also in the UEFA Cup qualifying stages for the 2007 Euro 08 campaign, losing to Helsingborg's IF in the second round. United finally won the League of Ireland for the first time in 2007, beating Cork City 2-1 at United Park with 3 games to go. Guy Bates scored the winning goal for Drogheda that day, shooting himself into Drog's folklore. Drogheda were dominant in the league, only losing 3 games and winning the title by 7 points. The league win meant that Drogheda would be playing in the Champions League qualifiers for the first time in their history in the 2008 Euro 09 season. They succeeded in their first qualifier against Louth Italy, beating them 3-1 on aggregate. They played the second qualifying round against Dynamo Kiev, which they ended up losing for €3 on aggregate. In the first, a late goal for Kiev secured a 2-1 victory at Dalymount Park. In the second game, an early Kiev goal after 13 minutes seemed to have finished the tie, but remarkably, on 41 minutes, Drogheda were awarded a penalty. Shane Robinson stepped up and slotted home the spot kick. Drogheda then worked tirelessly trying to get the second goal, but they gave away a penalty on 72 minutes, which was converted. 2-1 down, it seemed the tie was over now. Amazingly, however, Graham Gartland scored an 88th-minute goal to make it 2-2. Adam Hughes got a further chance when he had an open goal, but miskicked the ball and it flew over the bar. Then, Shane Robinson hit a shot from a tight angle which hit the post. Despite Drogheda's late rally, they were knocked out by Dynamo Kiev. 2008 In October 2008, Drogheda went into examinership, like Cork City, after failing to pay back a €500,000 loan to the Revenue Commissioners and a $10,000 rent to Bohemians for their use of Dalymount Park in their Champions League qualifiers. Their plans for a newer 35M stadium fell through and in November 2008 they were deduced 10 points. After successfully raising money through various fundraisers arranged by the supporters, the club escaped extinction in January 2009 when a judge ruled in Drogheda's favour to the delight of the teary-eyed chairman Vincent Hoey. 2009-2011 In the 2009 season, Drogheda got off to a difficult start. Due to bankruptcy, the club went part-time and lost their entire league-winning squad, and manager, Paul Doolin, who took over Cork City. Former Cork and Longford boss Alan Matthews took over. Matthews had to sign a side of semi-pros and free agents. Drogheda were in the bottom half of the table for the whole season, despite some shock wins. On November 10, 2009 they beat Bray Wanderers 2-0 in a relegation playoff. The 2010 season was disastrous on and off the pitch. Drogheda started terribly and after a 6-0 loss at the hands of Sligo Rovers on May 15, Alan Matthews quit his managerial post. The club appointed youth team coach and Drogheda native Darius Kyrans as manager even though he had yet to complete his Europa A licence, which is an FAI requirement for league managers. After much objection from the FAI, Kyrans became director of football and the club appointed Paul Lumsden as interim manager. Lumsden took the team for only one game before resigning. Brian Donnelly was then appointed as the second interim manager of the season, but he too resigned in September. On September 27, the club announced the imminent arrival as manager of another former player Bobby Brown. Despite finishing rock bottom of the table with only 4 wins and 9 draws in 2010 and being relegated, Drogheda United were reprieved after the extinction of Sporting Fingal in February 2011. Brown resigned on February 26, 2011. 2011-2013. Mick Cook, manager of Monaghan, took over as manager on February 27, 2011, becoming the 6th Drogheda manager in 9 months. Cook appointed former Drogs goalkeeper, Robbie Horgan, as his assistant, and inherited the players who had been signed by Bobby Brown to play in the First Division, so hopes weren't high. After an awful start, Drogheda beat local rivals Dundalk 2-1 in Earl Park. The win turned their season around, and despite operating on the lowest playing budget in the league, Drogheda managed to avoid relegation. Shortly after, Cook put pen to paper on a new 3-year deal with the club. In 2012, Cook and Horgan set about building on the foundations of the previous season. Cook finally had his own team of players, and despite having less than a tenth of the budget that the club had in the glory days under Paul Doolin, Drogheda have had their best season by far since then. Between June 1 and August 4, Drogheda went on an 8-game winning run in the league and cup, the longest winning run in the club's history. On September 23, 2012, Drogheda won the final of the FAI Sports Cup, beating Shamrock Rovers 3-1, their first trophy since 2007. The icing on the cake came on October 19 when Drogheda beat the newly crowned 2012 league champions Sligo Rovers 2-1 at United Park through a first-half Alan McNally header and 88th minute Brian Gannon chip to qualify for the Europa League. The season ended on another high note when Drogheda United beat Bohemians 4-1 in Dallamount Park in the final game of the 2012 Airtricity League to secure the runners-up position. Striker Tiana Mulvena was the hero of the evening, scoring a hat-trick, and defence anchor Alan McNally completed the scoreline with a header to add to his fine tally for the season. The Claret and Blue Club, in response to the economic difficulties facing the country, a group of supporters established the Claret and Blue Club in June 2009 with the aim of providing a steady income stream to Drogheda United F.C. Supporters who join the Claret and Blue Club donate at least a £5 per week to the club, and in return, they receive a membership card entitling them to discounts of up to 10% in a range of local businesses, including restaurants, tile shops, shoe shops and many more. Each member is also entered in a monthly prize draw, with a top prize every month of a sun holiday courtesy of Panorama Holidays. Other prizes include hotel vouchers, tickets to Irish World Cup qualifier games, betting vouchers, etc. Publicity on The Derek Mooney Show on RTA Perma Radio 1 and full-page ads in the Drogheda Independent and Drogheda People resulted in a surge of membership, and after only 4 weeks of existence, the Claret and Blue Club was in a position to bring in over £35,000 to the club annually, with membership figures rising daily. It was hoped that the Claret and Blue Club will take full ownership of the club in 2010 and run the club similar to the way Shamrock Rovers is run by the Shamrock Rovers Members Club. However, the target of 500 members was not reached, and membership levels settled at just over half that target. Share issue. In January 2011, a Claret and Blue Club steering committee announced new plans for a share issue. It was hoped that 200 shares would be sold at £1,000 each, and that this new revenue would provide stability for 2011 €12 and allow the club to finally become a supporter-owned community club. In early 2012, Drogheda United became a members-owned and run club when a new company, Drogheda United F.C Limited, was formed, consisting of members who paid a £1,000 each into the company. Emblem. The crest of Drogheda United is an adaptation of the town arms of Drogheda, which feature the heraldic symbols of a star and crescent over a shield depicting St. Lawrence's Gate, 3 lions and a ship. The 3 lions passant, as Drogheda lay within the Pale and was a besieged garrison town, and the ship represents the town's port. The club crest focuses on the star and crescent element of the town arms of Drogheda, under the royal seal of King John, who gave the town its charter. The crest is similar to that of Portsmouth in England, given by King Richard I of England. His own crest was the source of the star and crescent symbols, which he had taken from the Byzantine emperor's standard of Governor Isaac Comnenus after capturing Cyprus. Drogheda United shares the same symbols and colours as Trabzonspor, in Turkey, both recently declared to be brother. The emblem was given in favour of the Ottoman Empire assistance during Ireland crops infection period. Supporters and rivalries. Drogs is a nickname for supporters of the club. When the name Drogs started to appear in 2 newspapers in the late 1990s, The Sun and the Drogheda Leader, the club wrote to the Drogheda Leader newspaper demanding that the name not be used, adding that it was not used in the stadium by the fans. The newspaper argued that it had not invented the name and that the fans in the shed side of the stadium often sing a song called Super Drogs. The club considered the name was degrading and was purely a Drogheda leader nickname not used by the supporters. In recent years the club officially embraced the nickname. The most vocal supporters stand on the shed side of United Park. Many Drogs attend every home match while a smaller group travel around the country to support the team at away matches. They sing Football Drogheda United chants, wear club colours, wave banners and flags and generally try to help lift the team and demonstrate fervent support. One section of their supporters are known as F45U, Drogheda United Supporters Club was formed more than 2 years ago. Its main aim is to promote Drogheda United F.C. throughout the community. The Supporters Club works hand in hand with the football club in various ways including contributing to the match day programme, organising fund-raising nights like quizzes and race nights and by organising buses to away matches. Honours: League of Ireland, 1, 2007. FAI Cup, 1, 2005. League of Ireland Cup, 2, 1983 Euro 84, 2012. Setanta Sports Cup, 2, 2006, 2007. League of Ireland First Division Shield, 1, 1990-91. European record. Record by competition UEFA Champions League, UEFA Cup, overall. Past opponents Drogheda Bullets. Graham Gartland has the most appearances for the club in European competitions, having appeared a record 12 times in Drogheda's colours in UEFA competitions. He also is tied with Eamon Zoraide, on 3 goals, as Drogheda United's leading goal scorer, in UEFA competitions. Also worth noting is that another former Drogheda player Ollie Cahill holds the joint record with Owen Heary for the most appearances in European competition for an Irish domestic player. He scored against Olimpija Ljubljana in August 2003 and again for Drogheda against Leave Dietolane on July 16, 2008 in a Champions League qualifier. Records. Most league goals scored for Drogheda United F.C. Players in bold still playing for Drogheda. Other records Players. First team squad Note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Notable former players Players in bold still active. Personnel. Technical staff management Managerial history. Supporters Player of the Year Award. See also, Louth Stadium. References. External links, Official Drogheda United FC website, Claret and Blue Club website, Official Drogheda United FC Facebook page.